Your reporting also reveals Putin is intimately involved in day-to-day details of the fighting happening in Ukraine, some considered minutiae. Tell us more about this.
Yeah, I mean, look, Putin is uniquely devoted to prosecuting this war on his own terms, as in fitting his own vision, right? He sees himself as somebody who is kind of fulfilling a sense of personal destiny to kind of sort of bring Ukraine back into the Russian fold. And so what we are told by multiple sources familiar with the intelligence is that officials believe that Putin is involved in kind of the day-to-day operational planning of this campaign, down to sort of the level that in Western militaries would generally be reserved for more junior officials. And what this gives you a sense of is why officials believe that Putin is sort of unswerving in his commitment to this conflict, and therefore unlikely to be swayed by public opinion.
Katie Bo-Lillis, thank you. Now I want to bring in retired Army Lieutenant General Ret Hertling. He's a CNN military analyst and served as Commanding General of Europe and the 7th Army. General Hertling, happy Friday. Thanks, as always, for being here. First, just your reaction to Katie Bo's reporting, specifically those details about Putin's involvement with battlefield decisions.
Yeah, Anna, it is amazing. I'm smiling because what Mr. Putin is doing is only exacerbating the problems he's having. First of all, you reported he's firing many of his generals. When you start doing that at the top level, the generals that remain don't want to give any more truth for fear that they might be fired. So you exacerbate the problem in terms of giving the senior leaders what kind of advice they need. And then you talk about that not only is he not taking advice and he's scared off the generals, but as Katie Bo just mentioned, he is also now making tactical level decisions. This isn't just junior officials that make this. From what I'm getting from my sources on the ground, he is making decisions at the tactical level, moving forces around. When you get the strategic leader, the president of a nation, doing those kind of things, basically he does not have a military background either. It's only going to cause more and more problems. You're seeing the Russian forces come to a stalemate, as many predicted several weeks ago, and it's turned into an artillery duel with continued attrition on both sides on the front lines in the Donbass.
As you know, we've been following this first war crimes trial of a Russian soldier. He pleaded guilty, and today this 21-year-old soldier expressed remorse, saying, quote, "I'm sorry and sincerely repent. I was nervous the moment it happened. I didn't want to kill." And his lawyer is arguing that he was in a state of stress caused by the combat situation and the pressure from his commander. Your reaction to that?
Yeah, watching this trial very closely on, because it is just going to be the start of a floodgate. And this young soldier also pleaded the fact that he was ordered to shoot when he didn't want to by his superiors. That in and of itself, as everyone knows, is not an excuse for conducting any kind of war crime. So you have a bunch of young conscripts who haven't been trained in professional values that an army normally does. And they will, in cases under combat and under extreme stress, be concerned about what they do next. It's the first time any of these young soldiers have what's called in the military seen the elephant of combat, be under the stress of these kind of things. And certainly you rely on your leaders. When your leaders are crooked, when your leaders are criminal, which have been shown to be the case in the Russian army time and time again, and they order soldiers to do these kind of things, soldiers will execute for fear of being disciplined or harshly condemned by their commanders, and in some cases punished to the extreme. So this is going to be the start of a war crimes floodgate. We're going to see more and more of this, where young soldiers are claiming that they were ordered to do things, but the fact of the matter is they killed, raped, and looted, which are all war crimes.
And the Russian tactics continue to be just so barbaric, so heartbreaking, so awful. President Zelensky says the Donbass region is completely destroyed. And we've heard from other Ukrainian officials that Russia has basically been having to completely obliterate the territory they're trying to take in order to make progress. I just wonder, if they turn this territory they take into a wasteland, then what does Russia really gain?
Not a thing, Anna. Not a thing, Anna. And this is reminiscent of the battlefields of World War I, the trench lines that existed between 1914 and 1918. It was just, we're going to use the expression no man's land. It has to do with wire, trenches, artillery duels. People that try and come out of the trenches to attack are going to be killed by long-range artillery. And it's going to be worse because modern day weapons are so much more lethal than they were in 1918. So you're going to see an increasing devastation of this wonderful territory that was once the Donbass, an area which was part of the breadbasket of Ukraine, further deteriorate as this stalemate continues in the east.
Well, thank you so much for offering your expertise and helping to guide us through and make sense of what is so hard to explain. Thank you so much, General Hertling.